Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to start by talking about clauses with you guys, okay? So a quick review of clauses. I know that Paul has talked about this a lot, so it shouldn't be too hard, really, should it, to tell me what a clause is. Let me ask Simona, though. Simona, are you there?
Sorry, I'm not sure.
Ah, okay. Well, that's good though, because this is why we do it. So Simona is not 100% sure, but I bet Simona, if I show you something, you'll be able to tell me. Imagine I say this, Simona. I like cheese. I do like cheese very much. And I went to the cinema. How many clauses are there?
Two.
Simona? Two. If you had to guess, people are saying, Simona?
Two.
Two, right? So what is a clause? Let me ask someone else. Let me ask Sudashan. Sudashan, are you there?
Yeah. Clauses means part of the sentence which gives some meaningful part of the sentence.
It's kind of difficult to define, isn't it? But yeah, definitely one thing you could say is it kind of there's sort of two different meanings, right? Or
Yes.
two meanings or ideas, right?
Contains an idea. Yeah.
So the two ideas here are that I like cheese. I do like cheese. Do you guys like cheese?
Yes.
Why does everyone not go yes? What about cinema? Do you guys like going to the cinema?
Yes.
We can't go these days though, can we? It's a bit sad. Okay, so there's two ideas, two meanings here, right? So what about this though? I like cheese and the cinema. And this is a question for, let me ask Lucas. Lucas, are you there?
Yeah, we have one idea. I like.
Yeah, it's only one here, isn't it? But
Yeah.
although it's very similar to this, isn't it?
Yeah.
How many? This has two clauses.
Yeah.
How many clauses does the other one have?
One.
Okay, it does have one. Okay, so another way to think of this, Lucas, is it's definitely ideas, but let's think. You said the verb, right?
Yeah.
So what is the verb?
Like.
Okay, what's the subject of the sentence? It's here, right? So it's not 100%, guys. In fact, and you will see now that it's not. But one way of thinking about clauses is there's very often, not always, but there's very often what? What do you normally have to have two clauses?
Two verbs.
Two verbs. Sometimes it's just two verbs. Yeah, sometimes it's, but very often it's subject and verb. Okay, but not always. Okay. The reason we're talking about clauses, though, is I want to talk about special types of clauses. So I'm going to ask Sabrina. Sabrina, are you there?
Yeah.
Okay, Sabrina, a special type of clause. Do you know any special types of clause?
Relative clause.
Relative clause. I knew you would say that. Okay, so we've got relative clauses, and I've got some here. Where are the relative clauses here, Sabrina?
Yeah. So, Mrs. Green, the patient who saw the.
Just don't think about any. There are some errors here, but give me the numbers,
so
Sabrina.
Who saw the incident last night?
Okay, so that is a relative clause, right? So number one is a relative clause. Okay, thank you very much. Let me ask a question now to Sade.
Yes. Yes, please.
What about number 3?
Government should. Is noun clause?
Well, what's this here? That will benefit children. I like pizza. That is hot. What type of is that?
Adjective.
Well, what type of clause isn't it? Isn't it the same as this?
Relative clause.
Yeah, right. So number 1 and number 2 are relative clauses. Okay. What about number 3? Let me ask Melania. Not number 3. What about number 2?
Participle clause.
It's a participle clause. Okay, so we're going to begin by contrasting these two and trying to think about what the differences are between them. But before we do that, little quick exercise, very, very quick. Find the errors. Okay, there's some very simple grammar errors here. And you've got 1 minute to find the errors. You can draw on the screen. Who knows how to draw on the screen? Like this. Just find the pen. It's on the bottom left if you're on the phone, or at the bottom if you're on the computer. Yeah, find the errors. 60 seconds starting now. Okay, excellent. So we've got lots of nice drawing on here. Let me ask a question to Desiree. Are you there?
Hello,
Desiree, how are you doing?
I'm good.
Okay, can you tell me, number one, what the problem is?
The problem would be the patient.
Ah, okay, go on.
The
Why is that?
patient. Yeah, the patient who saw the incident last night.
So what do I need here? I need to add in something. It's probably the easiest way, right?
Mr. Green, who saw the accident last night.
Well, if we could say Mr. Green who saw the accident last night, then it would just be one clause, but we'd need to finish it, wouldn't we? With a relative clause, it's relative to the main clause. So we need to keep this here. What's the missing word here?
Is me.
Guys, you can all shout out. Go on. It is.
Is.
It's something like
Is.
is. Yeah. Okay. It could be other things.
Was.
Okay. So you could be was, exactly. Mrs. Green is the patient who saw the incident last night. Now, who says comma here? That's in. you can't escape. Who was that? Let's talk about it though. It's interesting though, because I was thinking myself, do I need a comma or not? I decided that I don't need a comma, but do you want to chat about it? Who thinks
Yes,
we need
sir.
a comma here?
Me.
Okay, is that
Sir,
Anuj?
Yes, sir. I wrote only, sir. So the thing is like, I'm talking about the Mrs. Green, not the patient, right, sir? So I can say that the comma who saw the incident last night.
All right, so you're thinking put a comma because, interesting, because this is talking about this.
The Green, Mrs. Green, yes.
You know, I really think that's a very logical way to think. But the reason I think we shouldn't have it, although I completely understand that, Anuj, is because this is a defining relative clause, right? There are many patients, okay? But we are only interested in the one who saw the incident, right? So if we put a comma, that makes it non-defining. Does that make sense?
The sentence is a noun phrase, so that we need an action. Mr. Green, who saw the incident last night, passed away. We need verb and object to be the sentence to be completed. So
I recognize that voice. I know you, sir. Is it Ahmad?
Yes. Sorry.
Nice to hear your voice. Nice to see you. I didn't know you were in the class.
Okay.
I'll see you at 12, hopefully, in the IELTS class. Okay, so that sounded like a very interesting point. So I'm going to say these are all very, very good points, but we need to move on quickly now because this is just a quick thing. So having no family, Ahmad, he decided to join. What's missing here?
An article.
And which one? Is it the or a?
The.
Yes.
I think it's more natural to say the, but maybe if we don't know which one, what would we say? It could be at if we don't know, but if there's only one in the area, we would say the. Okay, governments should invest more heavily in projects that will benefit children. Question for Baiju, please. Baiju, you there?
Yes, sir.
What's the error here? Just quickly. What's the error?
The government.
We have a very strange spelling of government.
Spelling,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, N.
Yeah, thank you
N.
guys. N, right? I remember when I was a kid, I used to hate that because it's the silent N. Okay. Government should invest more heavily in projects that will benefit children. Microphones off, please. Let me ask Zenobia. Zenobia?
Yes.
What do we need here? Is it a comma or is it something else?
Comma.
I don't think it's a defining relative clause. It's not non-defining. So I don't think we do need a comma. But what about articles?
Heavily in the
In our project.
You could say a project, good. You could say the project, you can say a project, and you can say projects. Okay, so I know you've been doing articles this week. One easy way to think about it is there's always three possibilities: the, a, or
0.
0 plus s. Okay. All right, so that was just a quick kind of like warm-up thing. Let's get back to the issue of clauses now, okay? So number 1 and number 2, what are they, Sudashan?
Number one and 3.
Number 1 and number 2, sorry, yes.
Yes.
Number 1 and number 3 are just testing. They are
Relative.
what? They are, Sudashan? Relative clauses,
Relative.
okay?
Yeah,
And
relative
number
clause.
2 is, what's number 2?
Participle clause.
Okay, so my question to you guys is, what's the difference between a participle clause and a relative clause?
Dependent and independent.
Well, with the relatives, you have this idea of dependent and non-dependent. Okay, let's think about this. Okay, so with a relative clause, there's dependent and non-dependence. Why do we use relative clauses? Let me make this more simple.
To give extra information.
It's usually extra information, isn't it? So I could say, I like pizza that is hot, right?
Yeah.
And I'm giving extra information about what? Everyone?
About the pizza.
The pizza.
Right.
The noun.
So relative clauses give extra information.
About noun.
And you have to decide, don't you, if it's defining, that means essential information, or non-essential, right? Essential information is what's called a defining relative clause. I don't want to go into that today because it's actually really difficult and horrible. Non-defining would be non-essential. Okay. What about a participle clause? Now, this is a question for Anna, the original Anna. She's there. Could you put your microphone on, Anna? You with us? Okay. Alina, are you there, Alina?
Yes.
So, Alina, this is the tricky one. Do participle clauses describe something? Do they give us extra information?
No.
No. Look at the example. What's it doing? Having no family, he decided to join the chess club.
It's just following an idea.
Well, there's a following. Yeah, you're right. There's some kind of relationship between the two clauses, isn't there?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Let me give you another example.
Complete sentence.
Say that again. Go on. Who's
Yeah,
that?
like this is that it does not have any complete meaning. Like it's not complete sentence.
Having no family, he decided to join the chess club. No, it is
Like
complete.
having no family, it doesn't.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
it's an incomplete thing.
having had no families.
Well, we'll talk about that in a second. You can say
Noun
both,
phrase.
right? But I don't think that's the difference. Whoever I was talking to, because look,
Benefit
It
sentence.
provides the cause
Okay.
of
Guys,
There is a relationship between the two events.
okay, good. Just microphones off though
idea.
until I call your name, okay? Otherwise it gets chaotic. Now someone said it doesn't stand alone. It doesn't make any sense alone. That's a good point. But you know what? Neither does a relative clause. That doesn't make any sense alone. Now many of you are saying there's a relationship between the clauses, and that's right. Okay? There's a relationship between the two clauses. All right. If I say this, let's get Lucas on the line. Lucas, are you there?
Yeah.
Watching TV, right? Watching TV, I called my mum. What's
Yeah.
the relationship between the two clauses for that one? Watching TV, I called my mum.
You have only information. When I watching, I call to my mom.
Well, look,
Two
I'll show you.
actions happen in the same time at the same time.
Thank you, Han. Right. So I'm calling my mum and I'm watching Game of Thrones or
Present
something.
participle. Yeah.
Same time. Yeah. it
Same
happens
time. The
the same
relationship
time.
is the same time, right? But actually in participle clauses, there's different relationships. Let's think about the relationship for the first one, the original. What's the relationship there? Having no family, he decided to join the chess club. Han, nice to hear your voice. What's the relationship?
Thì patient background, he have no support, so he decided to join chess club to make friends or something.
So the key thing is he decided. All right. So I refer to this, Han, as this is like the reason, right?
As consequence, yeah.
Result of the first.
Well, we've got to make a distinction between reason and result. I'll show you that in a second, right? But this is the reason why. Okay, that's the reason. You could say it like this: because he had no family, he decided to join the chess club. It's a reason. Okay. Now today I'm going to teach you 5 relationships. Okay, because there's more than one. Today I will teach you 5. I think they're the most common ones. I can't really think of many others. Today I will teach 5 important relationships between the two clauses. All right. Here is my diagram. Oops, it's not on the same page. Here is my diagram. And you can see there are 5 sentences here. Sentence 1 is the bomb exploded. Let me just move this down a bit. Sentence 1, the bomb exploded, destroying 2 buildings. What's the connection? What's the relationship, right, between the two clauses? I like that better. 1 says, having no friends, he joined a social club. Well, I just told you the answer for that. 1 of them says, watching TV on Monday, he talked to his friend. Again, I gave you the example. Do you remember? This one says, opening the envelope, he saw the letter. What's the connection there? And the last one says, having opened the envelope, he read the letter. So what we're going to do is, again, you've got 60 seconds, let's say 90 seconds. You write down on a piece of paper what is the relationship between each clause. So it'll take a little bit of thinking. All right. You've got a minute and a half, maybe more, starting now. Does everyone understand what we're doing? What's the relationship? Yeah.
Yes.
So decide what the relationship between each clause is for each example, starting now. Off you go. Okay, I'm back. You have a little bit more time. If you think you know some of them, you can start to type in the chat box. Okay, so just type your answers in the chat box. I'll review some of them, but we have about 30 seconds left. So feel free to type in that chat box. Okay. Oh, Desiree is saying number 1. I like that, Desiree. That's good. I think that's correct. So I'll ask you first. All right, let's stop there. Everyone stop. Desiree, could you put your microphone on?
Hello.
The bomb exploded, destroying 2 buildings. What's the relationship for this participle clause?
The relationship because the bomb exploded, it's the cause, and then the
Now
effect.
we've got to be careful, because with cause, what I want to be very precise today. So you're correct, right? But the ing clause, that is the participle clause.
Okay.
Now, is that the cause?
No.
It's what's the opposite of cause?
It's the effect.
Effect. So we could call it the effect or the result.
The result.
Right,
Yep.
right. Of clause 1.
Clause 1. Yeah. Okay.
I'll just say the other clause. You can change them round. Okay. Quickly, let's just stay with me. The bomb, that's the subject of the sentence, isn't it?
Yep.
The first clause. What about exploded? What type
the
of
subject? The verb.
Is it verb 1 or 2?
Exploded 2.
It's 2. It's just past simple. Okay.
Yep.
Then we have ing.
Yep.
And then we have, look, we can have a noun here.
Noun,
we can have
yep.
In this case we have nouns, but we can have ing, we can have preposition, and we can have past participle. We'll talk about that a bit more later.
Okay.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Microphone off. Let me ask Nukba. Having no friends. Oh, he joined a social club. Maybe he's old. This is like OET, isn't it?
It's a result.
Now let's be careful, because this is a result, right? Now, which one is the participle clause? Is it clause 1 or clause 2?
Clause 2.
Is that the participle clause?
Yeah.
Clause 1.
Participle clause means ing clause, right?
Clause
So
1.
in this case, it's clause 1. So it's different from this one, isn't it? Look, the bomb
Yes.
exploded, destroying 2 buildings. That's clause 2, right? This is not the result. What is it?
Reason.
The reason. I said reason, didn't I? Another thing, sometimes people say cause as well, yeah? It's cause or reason, but reason is better, yeah? But it's also the cause. Why did he join a social club? Because?
Because
He didn't have friends.
No
No
friends.
friends. Okay, it's a very sad story. Okay, watching TV on Monday, he talked to his friend. Let me ask that to Simona. Simona, are you there?
Yes. I think it's cause. No, it's the same thing.
Well, this is like my example when I was calling my mother and watching Game of Thrones. Do you remember the connection?
Yes.
What is it?
Mm,
How about this? I could say eating a sandwich. He called his friend. What's happening with these two things? It's
Same
happening
time.
at the same time. Thank you. Right. So the relationship is events at the same time. Watching TV on Monday, he talked to his friend. It just happened at the same time. Now, grammar. Stay with me. In fact, no, we'll ask someone else. Let me ask Han. Could you just do a bit of grammar for me, Han? Obviously, we've got the ing here. TV.
Yeah.
What's that?
Watching TV. TV is a noun.
It's a noun. And then we've got
Position.
preposition. And then we've got
Noun.
Monday. Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
There's no verbs, notice here, right? There's no verbs, guys. Right? Okay, then we have the comma, Han, and then what do we have?
Subject, verb, and
which
object.
type of verb is it?
Chú.
Okay.
Fast.
Thank you very much. While you're with me, Han, opening the envelope, he saw the letter.
One action happened and another action happened straight away.
Yes, exactly. One event happened immediately after.
Yeah.
After another.
Another.
Right?
Yeah.
So you could say, opening the door, he saw the man. Right? He can't see the door. He can't see the man at the same time as opening the door, but it happens immediately after. Good. Thank you very much. Sujith, sir, could you help me with the grammar for this one? We've got ing here.
ing and article envelope.
Got a noun. Right, so this is something important for all you guys. In the participle clause here, right, in this, the ing clause, there's no verbs. There's no verb 1, no verb 2, right? You can have a verb 3. We'll talk about that, but it's very important for the participle clause. There's no verbs, right? Sujith, I can say this, can't I? I can say swimming, right? Let's do a participle clause. Swimming. Where do you like to swim, Sujith?
Pools.
Where?
Ocean or pool.
Swimming in the ocean, right? When do you like to swim?
During weekend.
During the weekend. Okay. So swimming in the ocean during the weekend, we're doing a participle clause, so we'll do a comma. Let's do a same time thing. So what can you do at the same time as swimming, Sujith?
Oh.
You could think about. He thought. What do you think about when you're swimming? It sounds weird, that question, doesn't it? He thought about, come on, what do you think about? Work?
Sharks.
Sharks. Thank you. All right, so my point here is, guys, grammatically, there's no verb in this first thing, is there? Can you see? There's no verb 1 or verb 2, right? You can have prepositions. You can have nouns. You can have another ing. You can have articles, but there's no verbs. All right, we'll come back to that later. All right, last one. Let me ask Alina again, please. Having opened the envelope, he read the letter. It seems the same. What's the difference?
It's not the same.
What's the difference? Go on.
The envelope was already opened.
Kind
so
of, yeah. Well, one event happened
before another one.
Before the other, right? There's no immediately, right? It could be 2 hours, could be a day, right?
Yes.
We don't know how long it was, but focus on the grammar here. We've got, what's this having? We've got ing, and then what's next?
ing.
Didn't I say there's
verb.
no verbs?
It's
Is
verb.
this a verb?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a verb. It's passive.
Well, I said there's no verb
It's
1 and
simple.
no verb 2. Is this verb 1 and verb 2, guys? Everyone?
Verb 2.
Yeah, it's verb 2.
Verb.
Past
Not verb
participle.
2.
Past participle.
It's the past participle, so that's verb 3,
Verb
right?
3.
You can have V3, you can have past participle, right? So you could say, having eaten a sandwich, he read the newspaper, right? Eaten. Is that verb 2?
3.
It's obviously verb 3, isn't it? So good. Again, we have the subject and
verb.
Again, verb.
Would be verb. This would be verb 2, right? Having eaten sandwich, he read the newspaper. He played. Yeah. This one is verb 2. Okay. All right. You've done very well with that. These are the 5 different connections I want to focus on today, and I want to give you a quick test. I was going to give you a note, but I'll do it later. I want to just give you some exercises now. All you have to do is write me some sentences. Dead simple. All right. So you need to use the words here and create a sentence for me. When you finish, I want you to think about what the relationship is. Okay. So I'll just do a quick example now. This is the task we're doing today. Let me ask Mahmoud, are you there?
Yes, I am here.
So what we need to do is we need to make a participle clause sentence and then think about what the connection is, okay? So can you make a sentence for me?
Yes. Watching the match.
Watching the match, good.
I ate popcorn.
I ate popcorn, right? And what meaning is it?
Same time, happened events at the same time.
Good, so what number is that?
Numbers.
Oh, sorry, I didn't put any numbers in. I'll put the numbers in. It's same time.
3.
It's number 3. We'll just write same time. Okay. Right, guys, off you go. You got a couple of minutes. I can't spell popcorn. You've got a couple of minutes. Write down your sentences on a piece of paper. Put them in the chat box. Off you go. You can put your answers in the chat box. I know some of you might be quite fast with this. Type the full sentence though. So Iman's put, I don't know if that was an old one, Iman, but you can type the full sentence here in the Zoom chat box or in the Facebook chat box. Ooh, he fell over from the wheelie walker and broke it. Now, Anuj, we need to use a participle clause, okay?
Yes, sir. I forgot broken it. No.
So how about falling? Start off with falling.
Okay.
Or Nukba's got a nice one here as well. Nukba says, Mr. Smith fell over, breaking a wheelie walker. I like that, Nukba. That's also okay. Guys, you've got 30 more seconds and we'll go through some answers. Okay, this is fantastic. Loads of sentences here. So Miss Sonia says, following a fall, he broke the wheelie walker, I think. Sujit says, sitting down, he took a drink of water. That's good. I know it's not kin, it's something else, but that's what you've got on here. Falling over the stairs, the wheelie walker was broken. I like that. Eman's got one as well. Good, guys. Okay, so let me give you the answers and you can get some feedback here. Let me ask someone, just a random person that I haven't spoken to yet, to put their microphone on. Let me ask Shiva Kumar, are you there? I haven't spoken to you yet. Okay. What about Ahmad? Can you help us out, sir?
Yeah.
Okay, so, yeah, number 2.
Yeah. Falling over.
Falling over.
So falling over. He broke wheelchair.
He broke the, when you say the wheelie walker. Yeah, but you've got the basic structure there. What is the meaning?
After he he fell down, he broke the wheelchair.
Maybe this one, if we call this number 4.
Yes.
Is that the one?
Yes.
Okay.
Also the effect and result as well.
It could be, well, yes, sometimes they start to cross over, don't they? Yes, exactly. Okay, good. Thank you, sir. All right, let's get someone else on the microphone. Let's get Nukba. Are you there, Nukba?
Yes.
So Nukba, what about number 3?
Sitting down.
Sitting down.
Yeah.
Yep.
I took. I drank a glass of water.
You could say I took a drink, or you can say I drank a glass of water. Okay, good. Or we could probably, a full glass would be hard to do.
Sir, can we say sitting in the rest? No, okay. Sitting down in rest. Okay, it's okay. Okay, sir. Yeah.
You could say sitting down in the restaurant. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can keep adding there. I drank a glass of water, or you can say I took a sip. Does anyone know what sip means? I took a sip of water.
Like a tea, drinking a tea.
Yeah.
A little.
It's like a little bit, like when the hot tea and you can't have much. Good.
Yes.
Okay, eaten dinner. Let me ask Alina, eaten dinner? Now this is past participle, right?
Yes.
So what are we going to do?
Having eaten dinner.
Yeah.
I went to bed.
I went to bed. Fantastic. What meaning is it? It's number?
Number 5.
Good. And I forgot to ask this one. What meaning is that one? Sitting down in the restaurant, I took a sip of water.
4. 3.
It could be 4 or 3, I think, right? I think you probably sit down first. So maybe it's 4, but it could be, it sort of sounds like the same time, doesn't it? Okay, what about number 5? Let me ask a question now for Mahmood.
Yes.
Want a holiday, extra work.
Going to holiday.
Going, okay, you could say going on holiday.
Yeah. I need extra work.
You're almost there. This is tricky, this one. Does anyone want to try this one? It's an open mic. Does anyone want to come in and help us?
Being on holiday. Being on holiday. I don't like to have extra work.
It's like chaos, but it's great. I love it. Go on. Who's that?
I don't like to have extra work.
Is that Desiree? Okay. Yes. Being on holiday. I don't
like to have extra work.
Any work, you mean?
Or any work.
Yeah, being on holiday. I'm sure Paul feels like that right now, eh? But hopefully he won't get anything.
Alan?
Yes.
Would it be wanting holiday? I
exactly. I think that was what I was thinking of, actually. Wanting a holiday.
He did extra work.
Right. Now, Han, I did extra work. What meaning is that?
Reason and cause.
Yeah, I would say, well, let's get the difference right. So the ing is that the result, or is it the reason?
I think this is the reason, because I want holiday, so now I have to work.
Good. What about this one, Han? Being on holiday, I don't like to have any work.
Is it the same time?
It could be the same time, but it could also be reason.
Reason and cause.
It could be the reason why I don't want to do any work is not because I'm lazy, but I'm on holiday, right? Yeah, but it gets tricky with some of these. Okay.
So is it correct? Like having wanted a holiday, he did extra work.
Having, that sounds good. Say it again. Having
wanted a holiday.
Having wanted, because so we're going into the sort of the past participle, right? Having wanted a holiday.
He did some extra work.
He did some extra work. The problem here is that this is about the sequence of events. Whereas this sounds more like a causal thing, doesn't it? Yeah. So you can say it, and the reader has to think for themselves that there's a causal connection. So grammatically, you can say it, but it would sound better, I think, if you tried to rephrase it and use one of these. Okay. But you know, has anyone noticed if you put two things together in time, the reader, they figure out what the relationship is automatically, right? If I say, I woke up, I was sleepy. What's the relationship between that? I woke up, I was sleepy. Why am I sleepy?
Because you feel sleeping in the same time.
Because I woke up. Right. So
and you feel sleep.
Very often the reader will make the connection between the two, any two things that you talk about. Okay, so some great examples here. You can have this in the study document. You can check this out and watch the video again. I want to talk to some of the OET people now, and then we'll be talking to some of the IELTS people. Okay, we've only got about 10 minutes left, so I want to go fairly quick with this. Now, where can we use this with OET? Let me get Nukba on the line. Nukba, are you there? And I'll get Melania as well. Let's have two people.
Yes.
Now this is going to be tricky, guys, so I'll help you. And everyone watching, try to think yourself. You can type it in the chat box if you want. How can we make a sentence out of this? Surgery went... Oh, there's a missing word. Well, what could we say here? Melania, are you there? Melania, no? Nukba?
Yes.
Let's start with the surgery, right? Let's start with clause 1. The surgery went...
Well.
Okay, it's not that hard, is it? Then what do I need?
Comma.
Okay. Now we've got to think a bit of grammar, guys. Allowing...
Mr. Green returns to work. Returns early.
Return.
What am I missing here?
To
return early. Okay, so the surgery went well, allowing Mr. Green to return early. You people studying OET, you can use that kind of participle clause in your OET writing. Okay, I'm not going to show you the meanings. Can anyone tell me what is the relationship between the two clauses? Anyone?
The reason he went to work early.
Is that the reason? Is that the reason? The ing is the reason.
Result.
I think it's the result. Yes, it's telling us the result. Okay, being diabetic, Mrs. Green, need careful eat. Han, can you help me with this? Han, and I'll ask another person as well. Let's ask Baiju. Han and Baiju together.
Being a diabetic.
Yep.
Person.
What do I need here?
Comma. Patient.
The patient, or you can say Mrs. Green.
Yep. Mrs. Green
needs. We need. Don't forget the S. Yep.
Yeah. Be careful with it.
Needs be.
Careful.
To be.
To be. Thank you, guys. To be careful.
With eating.
With eating. What else?
While eating. While eating.
While eating. With eating. Or one more.
Diet.
You could say with a diet would be good. I was thinking when eating. You could say when eating. You could say while eating.
Sir, I have a question.
With eating. Oops. Yes, go on.
Being a diabetic will be all right, or being diabetic?
Yeah, you can have both. It's weird. You can have both. So being diabetic or being a diabetic. It's a strange. I think it's an exception to some of the rules. Okay, having improved diet, Mr. Green, condition improved rapid. Say your name if you want to make a sentence for this. Just say your name. Who wants to help me? How about Nikais? I haven't spoken to you. Or Lucas? Zenobia? Help me out with this one. Yeah. Okay, so guys, having improved diet, Mr. Green, condition improved rapid. What could we say?
Sir, having improved in diet.
Okay, not too bad. Thank you, Anuj.
Improvement.
What do we need, guys? It's not in diet, is it?
With
His diet.
Is
diet.
Good man,
diet,
good
yeah.
man. Mr. Green.
Condition has been improved rapidly.
Mr. Green's
Condition has been improved.
Has improved.
Has improved.
Has improved rapidly.
Sir, Mr. Green's, sorry, Mr. Green
Is it
conditions.
Mr. Green's or
Yes.
Mr. Green?
So what do I need here? What's the word?
Apostrophe S.
Apostrophe S.
Fantastic. Hey, you guys are great. So this is just to show you examples of how you can use it in OET. Look, right? You can do it to talk about results after surgery. This one being diabetic. What's the relationship? What's the relationship here? Being diabetic.
Reason.
I think it's the reason, right? You could say being diabetic, being a cancer patient, being, I don't know, being anorexic, right? You can definitely use this in OET. Having improved his diet, Mr. Green conditions improved rapidly. What's the relationship?
Cause effect.
Result. Can you say result, sir?
Having improved his...
Improved, yeah.
As results.
Having improved.
There's a mistake here, isn't there? What do we need?
Improved.
We need
D.
D.
Yeah. So this is just one event after another.
Yeah.
This is what I'm saying. I was trying to say before. Whenever you put one event after another, the reader can guess the causal relationship, right? So it's not in the grammar. It's just the reader will guess it because, you know, they're not an idiot. They can understand. Yeah. But there's no grammar telling you what the relationship is there. Okay. Good. Now, I am really running out of time. We've got 5 minutes left. Okay. So I won't do IELTS people. I'll be seeing you later. So I will do this at the start of class. Okay. I'm just going to show you 3 sentences to finish off. And then I think many IELTS people will know this already, but I'll show you at 12 o'clock. Okay. So
okay, sir.
If you're studying IELTS and you want to use participle clauses, here's some examples. What do we think is the missing word? Having. Yeah. My government should invest more in.
Increase.
Having an aging population. My government should invest
more in industry. Industry.
Social
care. Social care. Care home.
Elderly care.
Elderly care. Yeah. Something like that. Okay. Being a something person. I visited a lot of places in the what?
In the world.
In the world.
World. Okay.
Rich.
Being a rich person.
Being a rich person. Okay. Sales of apples decreased to 290.97. What's this?
Resulting in.
Not resulting in.
While increasing.
Actually. Come on, IELTS people. You don't know this? This is classic. Before. Right. So, IELTS people, I didn't talk about this in the 5 meanings, but you can use a participle clause with before, and it's so powerful, right? I'll show you more at 12 o'clock. It's really powerful for describing. Well, just to finish off, I can use this in task 1 or task 2 writing.
Task 1.
Task 1, having an aging population, my government should invest more in care homes. That's task 2, right? Being a rich person, is that writing? When could you use that in IELTS? Speaking, and we'll be doing this today, right? Speaking task 2. Hey, you know, being a nurse, I have blah 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 blah. Yeah, or being a doctor, or being an Anuj, being an IT professional, I have blah 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 blah. Okay, sales of apples. This one is obviously task
1.
Task 1.
So with number 6, we can use both the same repeatedly with the before, or we can
Well,
change.
You can change this, and I'll talk to the
Try
IELTS people
to.
about this. Yeah, it sounds a bit mechanical, doesn't it? Yeah, you can
Hmm.
say other things. You're definitely right. But it's the same in terms of the grammar. You just change this word, right? But it's the same kind of meaning. Dead right, Kahan. Okay, guys, thank you very much for attending this class. Thank you very much, people on Facebook, if you're watching. See you OET people in about 2 minutes in the OET class. See IELTS people later on. Thank you for participating.
Thank you. Bye
Guys,
bye.
take care.
Thank you.
Good day, guys. Bye bye.